Hello, guys. Today I am taking over as a new host. I am fully in charge. My name is Helen Alomenu. I have two of my Black Princesses colleagues here, Jenna Sapong and Alexandra Emefa. Aquaba to my show.
Madase.
Are you guys ready for this interview?
Yes, of course.
Okay, firstly, let's talk about adaptation. Adaptation about the food, languages, and weather in Ghana. I mean, in Camp particular. So, what do we say about that? Let's start with you, Jenna.
When I first got to camp, I was actually kind of nervous, thinking about like how my body's gonna react and like so many new people and new like routines and everything. But I feel like I adapted pretty well because the way I was brought up, even though it was in America, my parents always cooked Ghanaian food. They always taught me Ghanaian traditions. So when I came, it wasn't too much of a culture shock to live amongst like local girls and
That
have
sounds
fun.
cool.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I had some concerns coming in, maybe some nerves, but I think that the culture of the team and the players really made me feel comfortable. From a perspective of the food and the weather, I mean, we were fortunate that it was in the rainy season as well, so not quite as hot maybe as it might have been. But the food, honestly, I enjoyed it, and coming from the U.S., I found a couple Ghanaian food spots in my city, but of course, it's always good when you get to go back and have proper, authentic food. So yeah,
That
good.
sounds cool. How often did you visit Ghana when you were growing up?
I wasn't able to come to Ghana too often. I came once when I was a baby, and then obviously I don't remember that really. And then once when I was a kid, and then the most recent time was 5 years ago in 2019. So I haven't been able to come a lot, but my parents and us, or me and my brother, are trying to visit a lot more, especially now that like my grandparents are getting old. We want to see family, and so hopefully in the next couple of years we'll go a lot more.
I've been fortunate. We try to come back every year, every 2 years, usually for the winter holidays. Obviously, having family there, it's always fun to spend that time with them. And I think Christmas in Ghana, you can't compare to anywhere else in the world. So
I can tell.
yeah, it's always good to come back. But
You could have played for different countries. Why did you choose Ghana?
It's the homeland, man.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Yeah, I agree.
yeah, it's where my parents grew up. Like that's where they spent most of their lives. Like I have Ghanaian blood in me. Like I grew up in America. My mind might be very American, but I feel like my heart is Ghanaian. So it felt natural, you know.
I agree with that.
it was beautiful. I think for me, growing up, I think Ghana football, it's a global brand. It's world renowned truly. And I think growing up, watching the Black Stars competing in World Cups. My dad a couple days ago he sent me a photo of my brother and me. We were sitting on our couch in our living room watching the 2014 World Cup. And so I think that kind of seeing that growing up is what initially put the thought in my mind. But it's obviously such a great history, and then dually the team has made the environment such that I want to really do my best and contribute to the team as best as I can. And so I feel grateful to have that opportunity to help the team in whatever way I can. So
How did you guys feel when you got called to the Black Princesses?
It was pretty cool. I mean, like when the first like initial thought came to my family, like my me and my dad were talking about it, I was like, no way. Like I could be playing at the U20 World Cup. Like that would be sick. And then this past summer, when I got the email, I was like, this is crazy. Like this is actually happening. Like I actually get to represent my country, like my people. So I was just like on top of the world when I first and then I was like telling my friends and my family, and they were like so excited for me, and nothing could ever replace that feeling. So.
I bet there will be a party. When you're yeah.
Yeah.
no, I mean I would second everything that you said. I think it was a surreal moment. We speak about before we go onto the pitch, even for training each day and any team commitment that we have, that the duty we have to represent the country and to represent the people. And so I think that, having that sense of pride and that sense of duty, it was a surreal moment.
What about you, Helen? How did you feel
Um,
first time?
at first I was really nervous when I got called to the U17 and also to the U15 before going to the U20 campaign. I was really nervous because that was my first time. Like I had a great shot, and I told myself that this is like a great opportunity for me to represent my country. And then I was like, I have this kind of pride in me that I was going to represent the whole nation. And then it was like, I don't know, but I feel really good. And then some kind of like thanks to God because I have been through a lot. And then through all this journey, I had this great shot. So I was like, I should go for it and then just do my best for the country.
That's sick. Inspirational. So inspirational.
All right. So how has the training been when you came to camp?
It's been really cool. Like it's a lot different from what I'm used to at home. Like everyone here sees soccer differently, and like the kind of drills we do, I feel like prepare me in a different way for playing soccer in the game. So it's really cool to be able to like kind of like add that to what I already know, and I feel like I'm getting like a different perspective on the whole game itself. So that's really grateful for that.
Yeah. What about you?
No, I would add to that. I think that the style of play, even there are things that differ from what I have grown up doing. So it's been really rewarding, honestly, to try and see how I can see the game differently and how I can play football in different ways and connect with different people and different players. I think you get that in any new environment, but it's especially special because you're representing your country. So
Wait, you said soccer and you said football, which is right. I'm going to go for football because it's really crazy you guys call it soccer. I mean, most people call it football, but except the United States, I like soccer everywhere.
I mean, football. I mean, it's football.
Yeah.
I'm just naturally used to saying soccer, but
I agree.
I would say football. I feel
Yeah.
It's
like.
part of adaptation.
I think I find myself code switching, to be honest, even in the US. Like I think that there's a level of comfort that you have when you don't have to do that because like in my house, like yes, I'll say football, you call them boots instead of cleats, shin pads. But then with my, American teammates, there are just little things that make you switch.
You have to
Yeah.
explain
Your
whenever you're
vernacular.
like boots. They'll be like, maybe
Sometimes,
they'll go
yeah.
for the cow boots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your expectations going through the World Cup game?
To win,
To win.
to win,
Okay.
bring
What
home
about
the
you?
cup.
Sure. What about you? Emefa?
Yeah, I think exactly. I think if we can take what we've been doing in training and as well in our video sessions and everything, and we can focus on each game and each match one step at a time, I think that we'll be able to put in 100% of our effort, which is ultimately the goal. So,
Yeah, I also feel like we are doing our best, like
Mhm.
everything that it takes to take the cup. What are your targets as a player going through the World Cup? I know it sounds like the first one, but like your main target.
I think what I'd be most happy to get out of this whole experience is just like growth as a player, and not just like on the field, but being able to play with people who I might not be able to communicate with, and then also just like again being at the World Cup. Like this is probably the biggest stage I'll ever be at, so I'm grateful to even be here, but I'm also willing to compete against other people who I've never played against and
Yeah.
maybe make new friends.
I think for me personally as a player, this is of course the next step in the journey, and you're playing against the top talent truly in the world for this age level. And so I think being able to challenge myself and push myself is my ultimate target. How can I continue to find different solutions in different areas of growth as well, on a personal note and on a team note? I think as we've discussed, we're all putting in 100% of our effort. And so making sure I can continue to support my teammates, and, we can continue to have trust in one another to go and do what we can do on the pitch, I think is the target that I would have for the team as well. But what about you?
For me, this is the highest like place I've ever been, like playing the World Cup, so many experienced players, and then I can tell like there are a lot of professional players in so many like countries, and then to say I'm here to like telling them, and then I need a lot of energy, a lot of practice and stuff. So for me, I'll say I am really ready, and then the target I've already set for myself is like I need to push hard make sure like help my teams, collaborate with them, and then just like do our best in the tournament and possibly win the cup for Ghana. So now let's dig into our own culture. Like as a Ghanaian, what is your favorite food, Jenna?
Oh, favorite food? It's either gotta be jollof rice or peanut butter soup and rice ball.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say Nkatekwan and so I guess it
What?
Nkatekwan. Is that
Yeah,
the
you
peanut
get
soup?
it. Yeah, anyway.
And fufu.
Fufu. You're good. High five. That is heavy.
fufu.
Like that is one of the heaviest food in Ghana.
No, but it's so good.
Yeah, I'll go for granite soup, just like in Katempan with rice bowl. That is my favorite. Like anything to do with rice. Yep. Talking about our main culture, how many tourist sites have you visited when you came to Jenna?
The one I remember the most was when me and my family went to Cape Coast Castle a couple years ago, and like it was really cool to learn about like the history of Ghana, but also kind of because that kind of relates to the American history because of the slave trade and all. And some of like the sights I saw, and I can even still smell some of it. Like I'll never forget it. It's like it's truly life changing. So that was really cool.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I think I visited Elmina Castle when I was about 10 years old, so that's 7 years ago. And to Jenna's point about remembering the smells, I truly think it was such a visceral experience. And having both a Ghanaian father and then an American mother whose ancestors were enslaved in the US, the intersectionality between the culture there, it was a really powerful experience for me that I had at 10 and still sticks with me now at 17. A year ago, when I was 16, we went to the Jamestown prison as well, and that equally was a really, really memorable experience. I think one of the more potentially joyful tourist places that I've been to, I would probably say Upbury Hills National Park. That was a really fun one, and then Independence Square as well, of course. So yeah, I mean, it's always fun to go and see different things. But
I've been to a lot of places, but I didn't get a chance like going to the Cape Coast Castle like yours. But I've heard a lot of stories about that, and I can tell you to be pretty cool too. Like, but I'm also grateful that I had the chances to travel all over the world, to see like the black and white roots. I like experiencing like those amazing things that I've done, like seeing two rivers coming together. There's nothing like mixing up. They're just like white and black, you know what I mean? Yeah. What is your favorite Ghanaian artist? Wait, this
You
one
should say song. Say song. Ask a song. 'Cause I
No,
don't know
let's go with the
artists.
artist. Yeah, you should know the artist.
all right, I think I have a younger brother, and so the two of us, we really enjoy Afrobeats. So I would say Stonebwoy.
Stonebwoy.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think my favorite would be Chatawale. Is that how I say it?
Yeah.
Chatawale. Because when I was growing up, my parents used to play him a lot, and it was really fun.
Okay. But do you recall any song about Stonebwoy?
I would go with Go Higher.
Go
Black
Higher.
Princesses, we have a little saying where we say princesses higher we go, so I think that
Cool.
That was good. That was good. I would say my favorite song isn't by Chatawale, but it's Makoma. It was released kind of recently, and it's always stuck in my head. So
Sure. I also do like those songs too. Who is your favorite Black Queens player?
As a goalkeeper, I think I would say Meminatu Salemana, because I just remember watching some of her clips and highlights and being like, wow, like that's so cool. I want to be just like her.
Yeah.
And now I
Actually,
am.
I've also seen her in person. So
Really?
I bet she would be really cool.
Yeah, I would have to say Genevieve Clotte, Auntie Jenny. I think she's been able to give me some feedback and some guidance since I've been in camp as a former defender herself, and knowing that she captained the Black Queens at the 1999 and 2003 World Cups has truly been inspirational. So I feel fortunate to get to learn from her and be with her every day as well here.
Yeah, you are fortunate because I also played with her during like our campaign in Frankfurt. She's
Yeah.
still strong.
Yes, she is. She is.
She's still the best defender.
Yes.
So back 3 word Ben what to say yeah kika.
Oh, Wame.
Yeah, my man.
Since we are heading towards the World Cup, what sort of message are you going to give to the Ghanaian, like the whole nation?
Thank you for all your support, and we'll bring home the gold. Yonko Ghana.
To all the Ghanaians, both at home in Ghana and those cheering us on from abroad, we wanted to sincerely thank you for your support as it continues to push us to put our best foot forward here in Colombia. Muntayeche Ghana.
Guys, I'm sure I've done a pretty good job. You will see me in your next screen as your new host again. My name is Helen Alomenu, and I did this with Jenna and Emefa live in Bogota.
Gracias por mirando. Hasta luego.
Nuestro equipo estamos muy emocionados para el empiezo del torneo y del mundial y para esta oportunidad y también otra vez muchas gracias por tu apoyo. Chao de Bogotá, Colombia y adiós.